What is karma? How does karma impact our life or even our afterlife? How can we build up karma for good? Let's find out today. In our modern world, laws and morality are the big rules that keep people in check and make society run smoothly. But back in ancient times, religious ideas were just as powerful, maybe even more so. Ideas like karma, cause and effect, good deeds bringing rewards, bad deeds bringing punishment, even though they started in different religions, kind of blended together as cultures mixed. They sunk deep into everyday people's lives and became these unwritten rules that families passed down for generations. Even today, older folks who grew up steeped in that traditional culture often use phrases with religious roots. A classic one is advising people to accumulate good karma. Now, karma sounds familiar, but trust me, it's a deep concept. People usually bring up karma when they're dealing with actions that aren't technically illegal, but also aren't quite covered by regular everyday morals. It's like it's the final secret weapon people pull out when both laws and regular morals feel kind of powerless. You praise a good deed by saying it accumulates karma, and you lament a bad deed by saying it damages karma. In traditional Chinese culture, there's this famous saying, first is destiny, second is luck, third is feng shui, fourth is accumulating karma, fifth is studying. So accumulating karma is seen as a major key factor that shapes or even improves a person's fate. But here's the thing, if you actually ask someone what karma really is, or how to accumulate it, or how you damage it, most people can't really explain it clearly. The term karma first popped up in this ancient book called the Huainan Zi, compiled by Liu An during the Western Han Dynasty. One part says, those who have karma will surely receive manifested rewards. Those who do hidden good deeds will surely achieve a bright reputation. So right away, it introduces the concept of karma and sets up a relationship. Karma leads to manifested reward, and hidden deeds lead to fame. Bummer though, the book doesn't really get into the nitty-gritty of how that connection works or what karma specifically means. Fast forward to the Sui dynasty, 1400 years ago, this interesting guy named Li Shikan showed up. He's the one who finally gave a clear explanation of karma and its connections. Li Shiqian, also known as Zi Yue, was from Zhao County, Hebei Province. He was super knowledgeable, incredibly filial to his mother, lived through 2 dynasties. He was an army officer during the Northern Wei dynasty, but when the Sui dynasty started, he just peaced out and went to live in the mountains. He was a lifelong vegetarian, lived simple life, but was crazy generous to his neighbors, and loved helping people. He also had deep insights into religion and philosophy. So, when people praised him for having deep karma, he actually argued back. He said, what is this so-called karma? It's like having tinnitus. Only you hear the ringing in your ears, no one else knows about it. But everything I do, you all know about. So how can that be karma? By comparing it to tinnitus, he was hammering home the point. Karma is all about secrecy. Only you know about it. Nobody else can find out. In modern terms, it means caring for others and doing good for society quietly, anonymously, without looking for anything in return. If the good deed gets found out accidentally, or worse, if you brag about it so people know, Li Shiqian would say, that's not true karma. This idea of karma being super secret shows up in lots of other classic texts too. Like in the family instructions of Jushi, it says, if you want people to see your good deed, it's not truly good. If you fear people finding out about your evil deed, that's the worst kind of evil. And the Vegetable Root Discourses says, if you do evil but fear others knowing, there's still a path to goodness in that evil. But if you do good and are eager for others to know, that very goodness is the root of evil. Now the authors kinda disagreed on whether hiding evil deeds was good or bad, but they were totally on the same page about one thing. Good deeds should be kept secret. Why? Because once people know about your good deed, especially if you made sure they knew, it looks like you're just showing off, fishing for praise. That pollutes the purity of why you did it in the first place. It can't be called genuine karma. In Taoism, the classic text explanation of the initial precepts tells new Taoists, avoid the 10 evils, be free from distracting thoughts and forced action. Focus your mind on cultivating the Tao, shed worldly desires, and let the precepts be your guide. The second precept specifically says, you must not secretly scheme to harm others for your own gain. Instead, you should practice karma, widely aiding all living beings. Taoism really stresses this widely aiding all beings part. They see practicing karma as the very foundation of being a good person. So, in Taoist thinking, silently helping others without expecting anything back, that's the core of accumulating karma. They believe building up this karma not only improves your character, but also earns you protection from the celestial beings. Now, looking at this realistically, very few people actually reach the level Li Shiqian was talking about. A lot of folks who do good deeds, at least a little bit, hope for some recognition or payback from society. So, does that mean we shouldn't encourage this kind of good deed that isn't totally secret? Nope. Because no matter why someone does it, if it's a good deed, it still helps other people and benefits society. In terms of the actual impact on society, there's no fundamental difference between a secret good deed and one people know about. Both are good and should be encouraged. Like when business people do charity and invite the media. That shouldn't be shunned either. This brings us to the concept that's the opposite of karma, manifested karma. The book Lia Fan's 4 Lessons defines it. Any good deed that people know about is called manifested goodness. So for an individual, which is better? Quietly accumulating karma or making a big show of doing manifested goodness? Lia Fan's 4 Lessons says, karma is rewarded by heaven. Manifested goodness enjoys worldly fame. So karma emphasizes rewards in the afterlife or for your descendants, while manifested karma is about getting famous now. The author, Yuan Lia Fan, leans towards karma. He points out fame isn't always good. If your virtue doesn't match your position, disaster follows. People who exaggerate or even fake good deeds just for fame often end up facing misfortune. But those who do good quietly, without seeking fame, their descendants might suddenly become very successful. Looking at it from the Taoist perspective, they always weave accumulating karma into their practice of helping the world. A great example is the 38th Celestial Master, Zhang Yukai, during the Yuan dynasty. He was famous for practicing karma to aid society. Back then, southern China got hit by a massive flood. People lost their homes, bodies of the starved were everywhere. Zhang Yukai didn't care about his own safety. He went straight to the disaster zone to lead relief efforts. On one hand, he set up altars to pray and dispel the disaster. On the other, he organized Taoist followers to open granaries, distribute food, build temporary shelters for survivors, and even sold his own personal property to buy more relief supplies. He never promoted these actions himself. He just quietly did what he felt was his duty as Celestial Master. But without him even trying, he calmed the people's fears and saved countless lives. This way of teaching without words, doing good without leaving a name, is the perfect example of how the Zhengyi Taoist tradition defines karma. It's about not chasing praise from others, just focusing on the people's well-being, making good deeds a natural, everyday part of life. The Taoist classic Scripture of Great Peace says, if you never stop accumulating goodness, the spirits will be with you, heaven will surely love you, and people will surely respect you. That accumulating goodness includes karma, doing good without claiming credit, helping without expecting payback. Generation after generation of celestial masters led by example. They saw accumulating karma as the foundation of cultivating the Tao, believing that personal spiritual practice and the well-being of society are totally intertwined. Even though they never publicized their good deeds, history remembers them as having virtue spreading everywhere, kindness benefiting all people. This actually proves the deeper logic behind those with karma will surely receive manifested rewards. Silent good deeds ultimately earn the most sincere rewards through the people's gratitude and the pages of history. This also shows that in Taoist practice, accumulating karma isn't just about personal growth. It has a profound impact on society itself. Stepping back from religion or superstition, just using plain logic, someone who quietly does good deeds influences their family's atmosphere without even trying. They set a powerful example for their children and grandchildren. So if those descendants succeed, it's not just random luck. On the flip side, being fake and scheming, that can bring trouble to the person and mess up the moral development of their descendants. If we can ditch the superstitious parts of the traditional karma idea and focus on its sensible core, like doing good anonymously and leading by example, applying that to improving ourselves and managing our families, that could bring real positive value to us and to society. Whether it's unseen or manifested karma, both are about people striving to do good, and that drive to do good is a powerful force that pushes society forward and makes it more harmonious. Today, we talked about one very important piece of Chinese wisdom. If you like this video, please hit that like button and share it with your loved ones. I am Sam. Catch you in the next video.